Hello everyone and welcome back to another YouTube video. This is the third time I'm going to react to Veecember. You know the drill. So this time, since we did last time about a red snowflake, I decided this time to do to react to a video about red lights during the Christmas time because just the red theme. And yeah, make sure to visit her channel because she does good quality videos. And yeah, I'll make sure to keep to make the to give credits in the description. Do not worry. And yeah, let's just head right into it because I have actually no idea what else to say. Except, intro good, I guess. So actually, instead of waiting around and for the intro or everything, we're just going to skip into it. Again, her announcements, background, the wins, and the merch. You should definitely go to her channel to see those. If you're interested, do buy anything from her, because she does deserve the for what hard work she does. All right, yeah.
Down below in the description
So
for you.
let's
Alright
begin.
guys, that is all of my announcements. So let's jump right into today's video talking about the origins of Rudolph. But let's first just give you a refresher about what the story is. I'm sure you already know, but for those who don't, listen carefully. The story chronicles the experiences of Rudolph, a youthful reindeer who possesses an unusual luminous red nose. Mocked and excluded by his peers because of this trait, Rudolph proves himself one Christmas Eve with poor visibility due to inclement weather. After Santa Claus catches sight of Rudolph's nose and asks Rudolph to lead his sleigh for the evening, Rudolph agrees and is finally favored by his fellow reindeer for his heroism and accomplishment.
Yeah. So, we already have problems with it because, if you don't know, at least, what could be said, is that Santa Claus and Saint Nicholas are the same person. And also that Saint Nicholas is kind of dead. So he would not, well, of course he's still alive as a spirit and as a soul. But we already can see the issue that there is no need for a sleigh because souls don't have matter and thus can go at the speed of light. And also he cannot interact with presents, so he just has to make them levitate. So there's no reason for a bag or anything. It's just St. Nicholas floating around at faster or at light speed, just giving presents to every country that celebrates Christmas, mostly celebrates Christmas, on the 25th, and then again on the 7th of January. Yeah. But again, light speed, it doesn't really matter. So there's no sleigh, there's no sack of presents. The presents just float around him and go at light speed also. Yeah, that might be a problem, but not magic at that point. And the reindeer the flying reindeers also no, because they would have to go at light speed too.
So it ends well, but the story itself is really sad because basically Rudolph is being bullied the whole time. So many people don't know that the original author of this story was actually a very sad man. He had an extremely hard life. His name was Robert.
I mean, yeah, it would be an author that isn't biblical. So yeah, it makes sense. It is a fun idea that Saint Nicholas goes in a sleigh rode by reindeer, by flying reindeer, because yeah, it gives more extra to the Christmas feel because of where reindeers are found, but it's not really real or biblically accurate. Like the existence of Saint Nicholas and him giving gifts is accurate in early Christian tradition. But you will not find him in the Bible because the Bible has already been written by the time that he was born in like 270 AD. Yeah. So yeah.
May and he was a Chicago copywriter, and he was asked by a company called Montgomery Ward to create a brand new character for its annual promotional booklet for Christmas. So he came up with the story of a reindeer with an abnormally large shiny red nose who gets teased by the other black-nosed reindeer. And despite it being a very heartwarming Christmas story by the end, this story was actually based on Robert's real-life experiences. When he was a kid, he was an extremely shy, small boy and was often bullied. And he was actually inspired by the ugly duckling story to write Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer because he related to people or things that were deemed as the underdogs. He too himself felt like he didn't belong in life. And he was writing these descriptions of this weeping, lonesome...
Don't mind the ads. And I also refuse to get a YouTube Premium. You cannot tell me otherwise, so just gonna have to suffer through the ads, but whatever.
While his own wife was dying, he described walking to work on a windy, ice-cold January one day and feeling relieved that holiday street decorations had been taken down. Because his wife was suffering from this long-term illness, he just didn't feel very festive. And I think that's the most shocking thing about this. The fact that this man was hating Christmas at the time because his wife was suffering. And yet, throughout all his pain, he had to write this fun Christmas story for kids. It's kind of like ironic and so weird to think about once you know what he was going through, and yet his boss was like, make kids happy on Christmas, and he just didn't feel that way himself. He said he first wanted to name the character Rollo, but after more thought, he figured it sounded too happy for a reindeer with an unhappy problem, and then he almost named the character Reginald, but that name seemed too sophisticated and fancy. So then he came up with Rudolph, which he said just sort of rolls off your tongue. It's easy to say, and it sounds like he embodies this sad character. As for the idea of the glowing nose, one evening he was looking out his office window in the middle of winter. There was a storm, and he was seeing the fog from the lake, and he was trying to think about how Santa does such amazing work on such difficult nights.
Again, as I said, he's a spirit, so he can just go light speed, and possibly spirits are made out of photons, so the seeing part is also solved, because I don't think there's any other massless object souls can be made out of, so they can float and do whatever they want without being affected by any force or any matter or anything. So yeah, I suppose they could only be made out of photons, if I'm correct. And yeah, so you can see in the dark because you kinda are the light. Kinda.
Like, how does he see where he's going? It's so dark outside, the snow's...
Yeah, the way I said it. Like, you gotta think. Plus also a small nose ain't going to the job right. Like, it has to do a super beacon thing. They will overheat him.
So he figured that Santa needed someone like Rudolph to light his way, and that's how he came up with this red nose. And when he was about halfway done writing this story, his wife passed away. His boss wanted to pass the assignment on to someone else because obviously Robert was going through a tremendous amount of grief and pain, but Robert refused. He said that he needed Rudolph that time more than ever to help him work through that. So he kind of ended up using the Rudolph story as a coping mechanism. Anyways, though, we all know this story because it's one of the most famous Christmas stories or songs ever. So he did accomplish what he set out to do. And this story just has an amazing moral. But like I said, once you know sort of the dark...
It's kind of weird how you get from it from hating, not necessarily hating, but not wanting to take part of Christmas at that time of year, to having the Christmas story thing as a coping mechanism. Like, we go far. We went...
aspect of the writer's life, it changes everything. So now that we've talked about the sad stuff, I want to move on to the creepy stuff, which I know is a very odd transition. Maybe I should have done creepy first and then sad, I don't know. But this story is called Red Light in the Dark. So this story takes place in...
Let me guess, they, from the thing I see. In most Christmas stories that are creepy. So, group of teens or one decides to do something stupid in the middle of nowhere, and they see a red light and like demon stuff. I don't know, just the formula for these stories that people make up.
A mother and daughter were living in a small house surrounded by snowy fields and forests, and
yeah, we have the middle of nowhere and a daughter and a mother. Middle of nowhere. Noted.
one night on December 5th, the little girl called her mother over to the window and pointed to this bright red light that was shining in the forest. It's Rudolph, Mom!
Red light in the middle of the nowhere. Noted. Check mark.
She exclaimed with excitement. Now, her mother wasn't too sure if this was true, but she let her daughter believe that Rudolph was actually just standing there because she seemed so happy about it. The next few nights, the light was still there. Occasionally, it would move side to side in the forest, but it mostly just stayed in the...
I say, don't leave your house. It's always going to end up bad. And because, I mean, it is a creepy story after all. I say demon.
Same area, hidden in the trees, just this one small red light that glowed in the darkness, that shone through the snow that was falling.
And also, it had to be red, like it couldn't be blue or white or anything. It just had to be, red, you know, one of the colors of evil. Well, like in some of love and passion, but one of them is bloodshed, murder, demons, stuff like that. So, plus also, you can't say like it's a lantern or someone like that, because no lantern is red. Or at least no one would have one. So, yeah, demon.
As if
Don't go there.
was just standing amongst the trees, staring at their house. Rudolph must be protecting us, her daughter said. She was always just
No,
so
it
excited
wants to
when the
kill
sun
you.
went down.
It's a
She would
demon.
run to the windows and wave at Rudolph once she saw that red light. Well, on Christmas Eve, they had all of their family over and decided to go on a little hike in the forest, and they were approaching the area where they knew they...
This won't end well. You will meet the demon and, yeah, nothing good will come.
Saw this red light every single night. And the mother was horrified to see that lying in the snow was a video camera. And that's how this story ends, so if you know...
Okay, I guess not demon, but someone has been recording them. Great, stalker. I could have assumed that demon because, like, light out of nowhere in the middle of nowhere, just like that. Could have assumed it could have been a demon or just like how it is a camera. So, yeah. But why was it so bright? Like, what camera has the thing so bright that you can see through the thick forest? Oh, well, I mean, it is a story, so yeah. But, stalker.
Funny thing about the old video cameras, I mean the new ones might have it too, they have a red light that shines whenever the camera is recording. So someone had been watching their house amongst the trees and it looked like Rudolph's red nose. That is awful. Anyway, so guys, those are the two stories I want.
So yeah, what can we learn from this beautiful story? Well, beautiful, horrifying, not horrifying, but some interesting story. You see a red light in the middle of the forest, don't go near it, don't touch it, don't leave your house, and possibly close all your blinds and don't interact with it. Because 1, it might be a demon. 2, someone might be recording you. But also, why would it be so bright? I'm still going with number 1 though. Makes more sense. Then number 2, so don't do that. And remember, Rudolph doesn't exist. Yeah, I'm sorry, kids, but Rudolph doesn't exist. Santa Claus is dead, but of course he's dead. If he's a saint, he's probably dead, and that's why souls are most likely made out of photons, and so he can see by his own light, and or also God's guidance. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. I will keep putting putting the credits in the description. Make sure to check out Jessie V's channel. Yes, I'm way smaller than her, but still need to put credit. So yeah. See you another time.